welcome back to the next bit. So we're on chapter 2 right now. I was gonna make a video, but I had literally no clue what to make. I couldn't think of any plot, storyline, or anything, and I couldn't find any good memes to use to add some lore to one of the AUs, my main AU or the Royal AU. So we're just gonna do this. A word I already cannot read. Fantastic. Oh, by the way, I'm most likely not going to be editing this one. Triggers. I don't know much, so sorry if I got anything wrong. There's a trigger. If you guys watched the last bit, you should know the triggers on this. Oh well, like just blood, grammar, the basics. Anyway, let's start. Nightmare sighed heavily as Killer stood on the counter. Nightmare woke up to a crash this morning and found Killer trying to reach for cereal boxes. Nightmare put them out of reach for a reason. He picked up the skeleton and put him on the floor. Go to the living room and do something. I will make breakfast, Nightmare said. Killer nodded disappointedly and ran out of the kitchen. Nightmare got ready a pan and got pancake mix. He made the pancakes quickly and called Killer back in. They ate in silence. When they were done, Killer had to leave to get more things for Killer. Do you have to leave? Can't I come? Killer asked. Nightmare stood by the door. If Killer came with him, he would be recognized and be taken somewhere. And who knows where? No, was Nightmare's answer. Killer nodded sadly. Stay in the living room and don't break anything, Nightmare said, giving a stern look. Killer nodded and Nightmare left. He walked out of the store with everything he needed when he heard a shout and a tense feeling of dread and anger. He walked to where it was coming from and found an adult male shouting at the kid. The kid was a skeleton. He had a hood over his head and was crying. You useless piece of... beep. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Trying to keep this PG as much as I can. Good thing we are selling you tomorrow, he shouted. Nightmare froze. They were selling him? He then saw the man holding a paper with a familiar crest. The child started to shout out process, but the other just kicked him. Nightmare had seen enough. When the man overcast the child, Nightmare came behind him. You should be thanking us. You will finally be put to good use, he yelled. But the kid wasn't focused on the man. He was staring at Nightmare, who loomed over them. Nightmare slightly thanked his ability to make himself bigger. Without warning, Nightmare stabbed the man and threw him to the side, not caring if he had anything to say. Nightmare scoffed and flicked the blood off his tentacles. He then looked down at the child and saw he was looking at Nightmare with amazement. He got off the ground and hugged Nightmare. Nightmare froze but hugged him back. Thank you, he said. He whispered. Nightmare was shocked how badly did he treat that kid that he would thank him for killing him. Please don't leave me. She will hurt me, he whimpered. Come, I can protect you, Nightmare said, and picked up the kid. And they disappeared into the shadows. When Nightmare returned, Killer came running to the door. He had a smile on his face. Mama, Nightmare, he shouted, hugging him. Nightmare was shocked for a few seconds, but quickly recovered. Nice to see you too. Sorry I was gone for a while, Nightmare said, feeling the dread and panic in Killer. I wasn't scared, he lied. Acting tough, Nightmare chuckled. Killer then saw that the skeleton that was now on Nightmare's back. He pointed. Who's he? Nightmare turned and remembered the other skeleton. He picked him up with his tentacle and put him next to Killer. He's going to stay here from now on. This is Dust, Nightmare introduced them. Dust twitched and smiled a little, giving a little wave. Nightmare waved back, smiling brightly. I'm going to pack these away. Killer, show him to the room next to yours. You know the way without getting lost, right? Killer nodded and took Dust's hand, running out of the room. Nightmare sighed. Why is he doing this? Dust had settled in nicely, though the bad things. Dust had I'm not going to try to pronounce that. How did Nightmare know? He read a book on mental disorders, and he took interest in it, and he had his first episode on the second day of living here. Killer and Dust were just talking about Nightmare wasn't sure. But Dust started to laugh and laugh. He couldn't stop, and Killer was getting scared. He then attacked Killer, biting and scratching. Killer doing his best to defend himself. Nightmare was able to yank off Dust, but he was still laughing and freaking out, yelling at someone who was not there, with a crazed look on his face. It wasn't for a kid to have. Nightmare took him in a camera. Dust, can you look at me? He asked. Dust looked at him, twitching, no emotion on his face anymore. Good, can you tell me what you see? Right in front of you. Dust looked around in a daze, not answering. I see red, he said. There was no red in the living room. No, what's in front of you? What do you feel? Nightmare tried again. Nightmare stared at Nightmare. I can see. Dust struggled to say it. Nightmare nodded. I'm going to put you down on the couch, okay? Nightmare said. Dust nodded. Here, put Dust on the couch. Good, you see me? Dust nodded. The couch, it's soft, he said, rubbing the couch. It is, Nightmare smiled. Dust started to shake. I see red, a lot of red, Dust yelled. There's no red, Dust, I'm going to hug you, okay? Nightmare didn't wait for an answer and hugged Dust. Dust whimpered, it hurts, they're screaming, it hurts, they're screaming. Dust screamed. Dust could only hug him as Dust screamed. Stop, I didn't mean to kill you, Dust shouted. He was wailing now. Dust, no one's going to hurt you, Nightmare said, looking straight into his eyes. Really? He sniffed, big fat tears coming out of his eye sockets. Nightmare nodded. I promise I will protect you. Didn't I say that? Dust nodded and closed his eyes, falling into Nightmare's chest. I'm sorry, he whispered. Nightmare shook his head. No need to apologize to me. You didn't mean it. Killer came close. He just watched everything, not knowing what to do. He was in tears, terrified as why his new friend was shouting like that. He sounded so scared. Nightmare nudged Dust as he saw Killer. He teared up. I'm so sorry, Killer. I didn't mean to hurt you, he mumbled. Killer ran up to him, gave him a big hug. It's fine, just don't get scared again, he said through his tears. Nightmare hugged both of them and sat on the floor. This is going to be a fun ride. Sadness. Also, I'm working on a new book. It's going to be a small and just with Nightmare going to school, making friends with his gang. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be able to do one chapter every time. It seems that my neck really cannot handle it. Alright, this is going to be the end of it. Guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.